Hello, welcome to Deadman Walking. This video will show you how to find tide marks and also just a general bit of advice on if you want to carry kit when you're out coastal kayaking. So the easiest way to find the tide marks is to just look at the seaweed. So there's a large amount by here. There's a selection there. So that's a general indication that this is where the high tide is. Obviously, you know, certain times of the year the tide is lower. If there's a full moon, the tide is much higher. So you want to just use this as a basic guide, but obviously you want to have your shelter further up the beach or further inland. Another indicator of the tide level, or high tide mark, is by looking at the rocks. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there is a distinct different colour diffration. But obviously if you're not very good, or it might just be the rock, there's no rocks around, then that can be quite hard to tell. But otherwise, the seaweed is probably the best bet, or any other sort of debris. It might be rocks, it might be driftwood, it might be just litter, it might be rope. See a bit of rope lying around. A lot of the time, I'll just show you out there, you might be able to see the seaweed on the rocks. That'll mean that that'll become covered. Don't know how much, but that'll obviously just become covered over time. So yeah, that's just the general indication. So you want to build your camp probably about 10 meters, maybe more, from the highest mark of the seaweed. Maybe more, it depends how big the space you have is. Further inland, you know, you won't get swept out, but also rescue is quite hard to see. Depends where you are really, but normally the beach is your best bet. So when you're kayaking or canoeing even, you can't have a rucksack because it'll get soaked. It's just or even if you don't fall in, it'll probably still get wet. It's just the nature of the sea. So I'm using a old cave-in tackle bag. See that? So this isn't a dry bag because it doesn't seal up top. It's got holes in for draining. So this is often used for cavers when they go underground. But so you may be wondering now that obviously my stuff's going to get soaked. So I solved the situation with a waterproof drum. You could put a dry bag inside, but personally I find the drum a lot easier, especially if I've got more heavier objects inside. But it's all down to personal preference really. Some kayaks have like a hole, oh not really a hole, it's like a cargo compartment, so you can take the lid off, it's got like a net. So if you had that, you could put the dry bag inside, because obviously you're going to get water in due to nature of the sea, and you know, there's be like water just get in. When you have a kayak, when you're done with it, it's got a little bung at the bottom. Most of the time you'll tip that up and empty the water out, depending on how long you've been out for. So that's why it might feel heavier afterwards, which is quite funny, because you're dragging the kayak up the beach and you think, oh, this can't be that heavy, but it's because you've got a load of water inside. So another problem I see is a lot of people quite gun-ho with their stuff. They don't think they need a life jacket, but when you go out to the sea, it doesn't take much. So always wear a life jacket if you're going surfing, don't. But if you're going deliberately out of a cove, wear a life jacket. Helmet, this is a new one I got, fits quite well. Get these fitted, don't buy them online unless you know exactly the size you need. I went to a shop, a specialist shop, and got this done, you know, this foam added in. You just got to try them on. It's same as walking boots really, you have to try them on, otherwise it's going to irritate. This fits well, but you know, life jackets, they don't look cool, but you fall in, and I've been swept out to sea, not very far luckily, but I had my life jacket on, I was quite lucky I had that. There's very few instances where a life jacket negates the safety factor. I've had one when I was surfing in on my kayak, it flipped over and I got trapped underneath it, but that's because I deliberately flipped the kayak. But you know, if you're going out to sea, wear a life jacket. Obviously you don't need like a massive one, you've got to have the life jacket suited to what you're doing. If you're on a boat, like a sailing boat, the life jackets tend to be smaller because you're less likely to fall in, they're more about mobility. But kayaking, it's more about, you know, upper torso versus your arms really, what need for free movement. Your legs doesn't really matter, so they tend to be longer. Pockets on a life jacket, I got one here. This has got the waterproof box I did a video on weeks ago in here. It's not waterproof, again, you think it would be waterproof, but it isn't. But that's just nice in there. So that's the thing, really. So this is more of a testing video of more proof of concept rather than anything. Just seeing what I could do. I am getting a camera mount for my helmet, so I will show kayaking out at sea. But at the moment, you're just going to have to deal with a few static shots where to film them. Well, I'm not going to ruin the magic of how I film. But yeah, that same when I did the walks around, they were quite fun to film. But you know, sorry about it hasn't been very action-packed today. But I promise I will get some when I get my helmet out. Especially, I'll be doing just kayaking around. Unfortunately, it might be a bit nauseous when I have the helmet mount, because obviously it'll be on my head and I'll be turning around. So I'll try and take those bits out, but if they might be, or maybe even slow them down, and I'll put like an annotation saying slow down, stop nausea. I don't know, I'll just see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I do videos every Sunday. I used to do a podcast every Wednesday. Well, that's kind of stopped now because I didn't really have anything to talk about. I might do a few every now and again, but yeah, thank you very much for watching.